So, do you understand, do you recollect what we are studying? Teaching of a great master, Ashtavakra and Janaka Yatra Vishwam Idam Bhati Kalpitam Rajju Sarpavat Ananda Paramanandam Sa Buddha Tvam Sukham Char. If I translate literally into English, and then we will understand this verse. This is the 10th verse. And in the first chapter, we are understanding the very nature of the real self that dwells within all of us, and that is a common element. So if I translate, here the translation differs. He says, you are that consciousness which is full of joy, which is full of supreme bliss. Then what is happening? That I'm not feeling well, I have problems. It is a superimposition. It is my false nature created by the mind that blames and complains sometime about the world outside and sometime about myself. It complains about the body. It doesn't mean that I'm the body. Do I remember that? When I remember that, then there is no problem. Now see another translation. That in which all this appears. That. What is that? That real self. So Master is saying that real self in which all appears. It's a beautiful translation. I like this translation by another master. So that means real self in which all this appears. What this appears? My problem, my joy, my conflict. I'm not feeling well. I'm feeling well. I identify with the body. Sergey was saying, my dad, my relations were talking. It appears in the imagined like the snake in a rope. That. And who is that real self? It is the joy. It is full of supreme joy. It is awareness, is what you are. The master is talking about the nature of the real self. Everything is happening in that real self. So if I discover who the real I is, there is no problem. Everything is happening in the water. Remove the water. Where is the ocean? Where is the wave? Where is the flood? Flood causes problem. Storm, wave, ocean. So what the master is saying, everything is happening in that real self as imagined. He is going deeper in every verse. All that appears, what is appearing? I'm talking, a speaker, you are a listener. Everything is happening in that real self. You build a house, beautiful house, you demolish a house. Where it is happening? In the space. Does anything happens to the space? Nothing. Again, pick up. We have to contemplate and reflect again and again. I am not feeling well. Who is not feeling well? Let me take it. Body. Who experiences the mind? Am I the body? Am I the mind? You just become aware of that. Maintain that awareness for a while, and you will see that feeling good or bad has gone. Then what remains? You have some challenges in the body. Take care of that. Get ready. But don't lose hold of that joy. Take another example. You go to the crockery store, you buy the beautiful crockery set, you bring it home, you are using it, you are enjoying, and it is broken. We feel pain. Master is saying, but where is the pot in the clay? There is no pot, it is imagined. So he is using the word, it is imagined. It is imagined by whom? By the mind. Why the mind imagines? Because mind is seeking, searching happiness outside. The mind is searching happiness in the spouse. It is imagined happiness. Happiness is not there. Are you getting it? Oh, I will have a new smartphone. Imagined joy in the smartphone. Imagine joy in the wealth, in the clothes, same thing in the body. Are you getting it? So he is explaining the very essential nature of the real self. What is that? It is pure consciousness. He clarifies it is pure consciousness, it is full of joy, it is full of joy. Is there any time that it goes away? No, it never goes away from our life. It is what we are. We are the supreme bliss. We are the pure consciousness, but we consider we are the body, then we have a problem. Then we consider we are the mind, then we have a problem. So there is a catch in it. Our master explains in other texts, so I'm bringing that teaching to make it clear. We have essential properties and we have a superficial properties. Essential properties remains as it is. It does not change. What our physicists say, matter is neither created nor destroyed. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It changes the form. So that form, that name, that color is the superficial property. Essential property is energy, is matter. Just to give you an example, same thing. Our essential nature is all pervading, full of joy and happiness, love and wisdom. Superficial properties. Today I love you, tomorrow I hate you. Today, oh, you are a beer guy, you are a great teacher. And tomorrow, you are a crazy guy. Superficial. Superficial properties. Do you understand that? Do you getting that? So when the mind says you are good today, you are bad tomorrow, take care of the mind. Don't start taking care of the other people. You are a seeker. You are on the verge of a self-discovery. Dad, you are very good today. Dad has to be always good because he's it. It is my mind that perceives wrongly, that has a wrong perception, that has a false perception. You see, that is why we have a problem. We date, oh, everything belongs to you, honey. Then we become a soulmate. Who changes? It is the mind that has changed. Soulmate becomes sourmate, and from sourmate, what happened to that dating? Soulmate and honey. So honey is stuck either with the money. Honey is either stuck that now you are not giving me any kind of a pleasure. Now I have an ego sense. You don't follow me. My expectations are not fulfilled. Hence, let us separate. I have to take care of this crazy head. That is the problem. Only the superficial nature in us is changing. What is that superficial nature? The body, the mind, the intellect, the ego sense, the thoughts, everything that is changing in me. Can I become aware of my real nature? So I take back the translation by this master that in that water I imagined a sea, an ocean, a wave, a foam, a flood. Remove the water, nothing exists. Nothing exists. So, going little deeper into this sutra, this verse, so he says, this imagination that I'm not feeling well, I'm good, I'm bad, you are good, you are bad, huh? All these comes from the mind, from the thought process. So when for a moment I become aware, let the thought come and go. I need not to do anything. The more and more I become aware of the changing pattern of the mind, of the body, of the situation outside, I will settle into my real self. And settling into the real self is what meditation is. That leads to awakening. So he gives an example, a beautiful example. Uh, that example is given by all the masters from the teachings of the text. He says rope, snake, darkness, and light. So in the night, I'm walking, I see the snake, but that is a rope. It is not a snake. Now use that in our daily life. I'm not feeling well, I see the snake in a rope. So, but first understand this example. So I'm walking in the late evening, it is a night, there is a rope, but I see the snake, and then I get scared. I'm full of fear. I'm on defensive. And then I switch on the light and I see it is not a snake, it is a rope. So it's a simile. Now understand how to work with that simile in our day-to-day life. Snake I see in ignorance. Ignorance means I do not know my real nature. When I do not know my real nature, then what I feel, I am the body, I am the mind, I am this thought, I am hatred, I am jealousy, I am duality, I am conflict. So that is the snake. So when you have a snake, then what happens? You have fear, you have anxiety, you have duality, you have a conflict. So, how the ignorance can be removed? By knowledge. What is that knowledge? I'm not the body. I'm not the mind. I'm not this thought. Mind is saying, you are crazy. No, even this is not me. Hold on. Let me become aware. I'm crazy. No, this is also not me. Why? Because this is imagined in the mind. Why it is imagined in the mind? Because of ignorance. What is ignorance? Incompleteness, I know something about me, but I do not know my real nature. Are you getting it? So when I don't know my real nature, then this snake appears in my life as ignorance, and it is the snake that causes the problem, ignorance, duality, conflict. So I now, beautiful that you have to think and let me know in our next session. When I see the rope in a light, there is no snake. It is 100% clear. Clear? But still, I see the snake. So mind has imagined the snake. But why the mind has imagined the snake when it is not a snake there? Why the mind imagines I'm not feeling well, I have lot of problem in my life. Why I imagine? I imagine because I live in ignorance. One part of it. But I have seen the snake in the past. That is why I imagine the snake. Isn't it? If I haven't seen the snake, how the mind can imagine the snake? You see how the master put forth the argument to make us understand? If I have not seen the snake in the past, how can I imagine it? So it means it is my past impressions. It is my past impressions. I have experienced pain and suffering and anxiety and reaction and fear. They appear as a snake. They causes the impurity in the mind. You remove the impurity in the mind, settle into meditation, you are awakened. In the Mondays and Thursdays session, we understand what is mind by default is habitual, instinctive, and impulsive. It is an animal mind. That animal mind fights for survival. We have a human mind. We do not work with the human mind, and then we fall into ignorance, and that ignorance causes the suffering. Are you getting it? So even if we take again what the verse says. So can it happen just by listening to me? No. If you are a seeker, you contemplate and reflect during the real life situation. I give an example the way the Sargi was explaining. Oh, I was thinking. You see, that is what the contemplation. On Mondays and Thursdays session, do you still remember the 4 steps? Listener, speaker, when there is no listener and speaker, and then you allow the mind to play with these principles at any time. Even when you are sitting in a restroom, you become a bathroom singer. Peace is my essential nature. And then wait. Mind says, no, how it can be. But you have these principles to clarify the mind. Ha yatra vishwam idam bhati. The way the entire world we have created for us. What is that word? I'm a professional, I'm a family man, I have a spouse, I have the kids, I don't have the kids, I have wealth, I don't have. All this we have created. The world for us in our mind is all imagination, is caused by the ignorance. Bhati kalpitam rajju sarpavat. So the master is saying, you are seeing the snake, but it is a rope. The moment you realize that it is not you, none of them is you, then what happens? You need not to do anything. You are in a joy, Ananda Paramananda. You are in a joy, you are in a supreme joy, you are pure consciousness. So then what should you do? Be happy. That is meditation. We have done. We all are awakened. So let us start our practice now. Even it is a non-practice and still we will do the